In the previous video, we talked about Windows agents and saw how to install agents using a discovery method and also how to do it manually. But there are also some subtle differences you should be aware of that may come back to affect us when we choose to manually install our agents. So let's just take a quick look at the two agents we have. Our SQL server at the top here shows that it's pointing to management server number 1, and we installed this using the discovery method. And we have a domain controller here, which we manually installed, and that's pointing to our management server number 2. All right, so there's nothing wrong with this. Both agents are installed, they work fine. But if we select our SQL server, over on the right here in the Actions pane, you can see that we've got a few different options to choose from. One of them is to change our primary management server and have it point to management server 2 if we like. But if we select our domain controller, over on the right, some of these options become grayed out. So we're now unable to tell this server to change and report to a new management server. So why is that? Well, that's because when we manually install an agent, it gets flagged as being not remotely manageable. And that means there are certain things that we can now no longer do. So to see which agents are not remotely manageable, we can right-click up here in the menu bar at the top, and we can choose Personalized View. And down the bottom, click the remotely manageable box and click OK. Now, obviously now it's clear that we can see which ones we need to fix. Now, the easiest way to fix this, in my opinion, is to directly edit the database, something Microsoft generally don't recommend, but this one's pretty simple. So I've just switched over to my SQL server, and if we enter in the following code, and we'll just change this to our Operations Manager database, and we'll hit F5 to run this. You can see that it comes back with a single row that was edited, and that makes perfect sense because we only had a single server that was set to remotely manageable no. And now I've just switched back to our SCOM console, and if we right-click and refresh our console, you can see that that's now been fixed. Now all of these actions on the right-hand side, of course, are now available to us. Now, another thing I like to do to my agents is to enable Agent Proxying. Now, we could do this by right-clicking on any of our agents and choosing Properties, and then coming to the Security tab and checking this box here. But if we run a simple script to enable Agent Proxying, then we can ensure that all future agents we install will automatically have this box checked. So let's just go and take a quick look at it. All right, now in my script here, there's only really 4 lines of code, 4 short lines of code. The first here adds the snap-in. The second connects to our management group and specifically our server MSO1. The third changes to this location. And finally, we set the proxying enabled parameter to true. All right, so let's just open up a PowerShell prompt. And let's run this. Okay, now that that's been run, any future agent we install will automatically have proxying enabled. But what about the agents we've already installed? Well, that's where the line at the bottom of this script here is going to help us. So what this does is gets all of our SCOM agents where proxying enabled is currently set to false, and for those agents we're obviously going to enable it. So let's go and open up an Ops Manager shell, and we'll paste that in and hit enter. Okay, it's done. And now if we go back to our console and take a look at the properties of any of these two agents, we should see that the box is now checked. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in this video is checking on your agents, because I've spent many years working with SCOM in a lot of different companies, and frankly, I'm stunned by the state of their agents. Almost every single company that I've ever consulted for, or even just observed their SCOM environments, have agents that are out of date, or grey agents that are not working, or they're just riddled with errors. Now, it really is one of the most important things you can and have to do as a SCOM administrator, is fix your agents and ensure your agents are working properly. Because if you've got a dud agent, you need to fix it as soon as you can, because that machine simply isn't being monitored without a working agent. So if the server has been decommissioned, remove the agent from SCOM. Now, as far as the health of the agents themselves goes, you should see everything green most of the time. Now, sure, agents do go bad, but fixing them really is a priority. Now, I know I'm probably giving a bit of a lecture here, and the truth is, I guess I am, but keeping the agents working really needs to be one of your priorities. And don't forget, I've got some health check scripts on my blog to help you identify agents that have issues. Okay, so in this very short video, we've taken a look at how to ensure that all agents, regardless of whether you installed them manually or not, enjoy the same features that a discovered or pushed agent has. We've also talked about agent proxying and how to enable it permanently because so many management packs require that feature to be turned on. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd like to thank you for watching.